Are live. Yep, we are officially live. I am doing my normal pinging people in. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Midday Quickie. Yay! So, I'm super excited today that I have a very special guest joining us here in the Midday Quickie. And for anyone that's joining us here on Clubhouse, please feel free to raise your hand and come on up and be an interactive part of our discussion today. So, really quickly, run through some must do's. The room today is brought to you by a very special sponsor of the Love Me More subscription box and book club, which is Beauty and Barbells. She has provided for you in August and September some really extra special goodies in your subscription box. So I'd like to give a shout out to Beauties and Barbells. So I thank you so much for that. And in case you don't know who I am Coach K. I am your life coach and certified sexologist with a dedication to women with helping you to understand and acknowledge your value, worth, and set those personal boundaries. And I do this through self-love, accountability, and truly showing you how to own your sexuality, because we have to understand that as women, when we own our sexuality, we truly show up differently in the world. I am also that relationship glue. When that communication goes kind of south in the bedroom, I am there for your relationship to mend that back together. Now, every Monday and Friday, I am right here at 12:15 p.m. for the Midday Quickie during your lunch. So grab your headphones, grab your food, and we just talk about all things women. There are women-centered topics that we want to, and sometimes that we need to talk about. And today I'm super excited. I'm always excited when we have our guests, right? So I titled the room Live, Eat, Train, because I have today Miss Laura Lucas. She is the owner of Pixie Training LLC, barbell and strength coach, precision nutrition coach, and director of Richmond Strong. So if you are been thinking about your health or things are just not where you want them to be, this is the room that you want to be in. I also encourage you to ping people into the room who you know may benefit from this conversation or who may have questions for Laura today. Definitely want to do that. And if you don't know already, we're also streaming live in my private Own Your Ish Sis Facebook group. This is a group where we as women hold each other accountable. We encourage each other. And you're going to learn about a 5-day challenge that I have for you ladies a little bit later. I'm always throwing in surprises. So I won't hold this up any longer. I am going to turn it over to Miss Laura. Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Hello, thanks for having me. Very excited. Definitely out of my comfort zone with presenting, but I'll do the best I can. And I hope that anyone here will feel comfortable asking questions.
Absolutely. So don't forget, ladies, if you have any questions, you can use the back office channel on Clubhouse. If you don't want to come up to speak, feel free to send that message to me as well as in the Facebook group. Send those messages to me and I will make sure that I ask Laura. Okay, I'm going to shut up again. Go ahead.
All right. So today I wanted to talk to you a bit about nutrition, movement, and shifting your mindset towards both. And this will help create lasting results. So first of all, it's important to talk about why diets fail. The truth is that diets actually work. Any diet that's putting you in a calorie deficit will work for weight loss. Same thing if you're trying to gain weight, if you're in a surplus, it works. Any diet that centers around nutritious whole foods will improve health markers. So if they all work, then what's the problem? We have all the information in front of us. Why is it so difficult to implement? There's a few reasons. So number one, diets are just not sustainable. Any diet that you couldn't imagine doing the rest of your life is not the diet for you. So if you think of like the keto diet, can you really eat? I mean, maybe some people can, but can you really eat like cheese and meat and no vegetables, no fruits, no carbs the rest of your life? And like imagine going to social functions. It's really hard to find something to eat when you're on this very restrictive diet. So that's one of the reasons. And diets are often thought of as a short-term kind of thing instead of being for the long haul. So you really want to pick something that's going to last you your entire life. The next reason is we think of diet and exercise as a punishment. It might be like, oh, I don't look the way I want to, so I need to punish myself with exercise, or I ate that horrible thing, so like now I need to go burn it off or something. And with that mindset, it really turns diet and exercise into a chore and something that's unpleasant and something that we feel like we have to do instead of something that we actually genuinely want to do. And it's really just, it's meant to be part of our lives. It's meant to be built into our lives. The 9 to 5 job has completely taken that away from us to where now we're just sitting at desks and we just allot this small amount of time for movement, and we have to follow these like diet plans and these exercise plans, and they just don't really work for our lives. And it's because of this mindset that it's a punishment instead of like something that makes our lives richer. So if we could think about diet and movement as something that we get to do instead of something we have to do, or if we can build movement into our day-to-day routine and make it fun, maybe make it some time to spend with friends or family, that's a good way to shift your mindset towards that whole thing. The third reason is that your why is not great enough. So external motivators such as like I want abs or I want to look good on vacation oftentimes won't carry us through these really hard times. And with any new habit, there's going to be some level of discomfort. And like such as like you have to wake up at 5:30 to go work out. Like wanting abs is not really going to hold you to that so much as if you were to choose a larger purpose. So examples of a larger purpose would be, I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be independent as I get older. I want to be a good influence to those around me. Those are really good examples. There's an exercise I like to do with my clients to kind of figure out this larger purpose, and it's called the 5 whys. You may have heard of it, but you basically take your goal. So I want abs, and then you ask yourself why. Why do I want abs? Because I want to look good in front of people. Why is that? Because I want acceptance from other people. Why is that? Because I want to have a larger purpose. So when you really dig deep and connect to that big why, that will hold you accountable to these hard times, and there will be. So the other reason why diets kind of fail us is they don't take into consideration you as a person. So it's like this strict regimented program that doesn't take into consideration like your biology, such as your age, your genetics, your metabolism, your hormones, how you're able to move your body. They don't take into consideration psychological factors like feelings and perceptions about the world, expectations and goals you may have, or even values and priorities. And especially, they don't take into consideration social factors like your friends, your family, who you surround yourself with, and even culture. So like a big problem I have with some diets is they exclude certain food groups, and you never know when that food group might actually be a staple to some cultures, and saying like it's bad or wrong and tying morality to certain foods and like that culture might center itself around foods. It's like saying your culture's wrong, like you shouldn't be eating that. So that's really problematic. So how can we shift our mindsets to create these lasting results? The first thing I would recommend is shifting more from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. And you may have heard this before, but an abundance mindset is adding to rather than taking away. So if you add more protein, more fiber, more fruits and vegetables, more whole nutrient dense nourishing foods, the more you nourish your body, the less room you'll have for less nutritious foods. And think about all the times you've been on a diet and like deprived yourself of something, and it's all you can think about. So again, going back to like, what can you do long term? If you're just constantly obsessing with food and depriving yourself, like you're not going to be able to do that for a very long time. You're just going to go back. So how else can we shift our mindset for lasting results? I would recommend small changes at a time. So we often think like it has to be this big grand gesture and we need to turn our lives upside down and turn over a new leaf to make a change. Once again, not sustainable. The more you just tear things up and like try to rebuild, the more you're going to fight against that. And it's just not going to feel natural. So it's better to choose small, achievable goals and build that new habit into your lifestyle, and then let other habits snowball from that success. So the things I have my clients focus on, and we kind of go through these together. The first thing is really like, it's obvious, but it's often overlooked, and that's planning, prioritizing things and preparing. So if you don't set aside time in your schedule to do the thing, like if you don't plan it, are you going to do it? It's just a thought at that point. So setting aside some time in your schedule, prioritizing. So think about like, is this goal important to you? Tie it back to that big why. Prioritize it, make it like number one. And a good thing for that is putting it first thing in the day, and then you won't have other things getting in front of that. That's like big goal number one is done. And then preparing. So like make a shopping list. Like that's really simple, but a lot of people don't even do that or know how to. So that's a good skill to work on. First, if you don't do that already, make a meal plan for the week. You don't have to eat the same things every day either. You can choose, but just making the space for planning and prioritizing and preparing will set you up for your future goals that you have. The next thing would be regulating eating behaviors. So that's eating more slowly and mindfully, learning to recognize your hunger and your fullness cues, and getting in a routine and rhythm with eating your meals. So we don't really think about this, but like eating meals at the same time, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to be the same meals every day, but choosing a time for your meals and just regulating that really sets the tone and gets you in a really good habit. And then once you want to start like integrating more healthy, nutritious foods into that like rhythm of eating, that can be really helpful. And then your body kind of knows what to expect, and it helps you check in better with those hunger and fullness cues and whatnot.
So with that, you're saying basically, if you are somebody who eats 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you want to do it around the same time each day, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
ideally. And it's not always realistic for everyone. Some people have some crazy schedules, but the more you can do that, the more consistent you're going to end up being. And then it's just this habit that eventually snowballs into better habits, and you can build on top of that. Some other good practices around eating more slowly and mindfully would be eating at the table, setting your fork down in between bites, slowing down the pace of your eating. So like you could make a little game out of it. If you're at a table with a group of people, you could try to pace yourself with the slowest eater there. You can even, if you're by yourself, time your meal. So say like, I'm going to eat for 30 minutes and really space it out and try to make it last that entire 30 minutes. And also journaling is a really good tool, especially for checking in with your hunger and fullness cues. So if you wanted to keep a food journal and write, before I started this, I was very hungry, and then I ate, and then after I felt satisfied, or I felt overfull, or I wasn't full enough, etc. And that kind of like helps you start being more mindful about how hungry and full you are. The next habit I have my clients pay attention to is choosing more high quality foods more often. So first of all, you want to establish your criteria for what's better. This isn't tying any like moral value to food, like I kind of was talking about later or earlier, but it's more so like if you think of food on a spectrum from less processed, higher quality to more processed, lower quality, you want to go on the less processed, higher quality foods whenever you can. And like, it, you know, if you have your occasional more processed, high quality or lower quality foods, that's okay. But just more often, we want to make these better choices. Yeah, and also the less processed foods are going to be more filling and get you to your goals better, like quicker. Some good examples of doing this is to experiment, upgrade, and explore. So experiment with new foods, new recipes that you haven't tried before. Upgrade from lower quality foods to higher quality foods. So if you're like used to, I don't know, stopping at McDonald's for a burger, go home and make your burger. That's a good way to upgrade, and you can choose your ingredients to be fresher and a more whole food, less processed. And then figure out what you like and don't like. So there's so many like food trends, like it's a superfood. You have to eat it. You have to eat kale. You have to eat acai or like whatever. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. Find what you do like. It's very important, because if you don't like what you're eating, you're not going to stick to it. So the next habit would be moving often and well, getting regular activity. And once again, choose what you like to do. Just because it's like some trendy thing doesn't mean you have to do it. And yeah, just it could be walking to start with. It could be hiking. It could be biking. Could be playing, I don't know, volleyball or something, like anything that just gets you moving. I just watched volleyball on the Olympics, so I was like, the beach. I'm like, how are they not burning up in the sand? That would just. The next habit is resting and recovering. So improving sleep habits and your environment. So that could be lights out at a certain time. That could be, I don't know if you're familiar with the blue blocking glasses that block the blue light. And that's a whole nother subject for another day. But blackout curtains, sleep supplements, you know, anything to help with that sleep, because that sleep is really important. It's going to help you get better towards your goals. So making sleep a priority. And then the last thing would be change your environment to reach your goals. So it's so critical. Your environment really like sets the tone for your goals. So if you have a bunch of junk food laying around your house that you don't want to be eating, get rid of it and make other foods that you do want to be eating more accessible. And then tell your friends and family what you plan to do, because if you don't tell them, then they're not going to know like how to support you. And then the other thing I always say is make friends with the people who have what you want. So you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. So if like, say you want to get really fit, go make friends with fit people and they'll have a really good influence on you. So that's about all I have. So we can open it up to questions now.
Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna have some questions, but I start with saying I genuinely appreciate you being a part of it, and thank you all the ladies who have joined us, both in the group and here on Clubhouse. Absolutely. If any of you all have questions about any of the things that we talked about today, please feel free to either drop them in the chat, raise your hand, and come on up, or in that Facebook group over there, you can just put it in the chat as well. So, hey, Ray, Antoinette, and Kennedy. So I love a lot of the things that you said, honestly. And when you were talking about the planning, prioritize, and preparing, I do a Zumba class at 7 a.m. virtually. And so I have to I have to put my mind in a state of getting up at 6 a.m. And I work from home. So it's like I really those three, especially that prioritizing part, I do it because I need to be healthy for myself and to lose these pounds that are just we're not getting along right now, which is why I have on my hashtag no jeans shirt. Um, but the preparing piece, I don't do as good of a job as I should with the preparing because I don't prepare the night before. I am literally when I get up at 6 and snooze my alarm to 6:15. That is when I'm starting to prepare for the day. So I know I do have to get better at that. So I appreciate you bringing those points up. But I will ask you, because at the very beginning, you were talking about how they're not the best in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, as you were talking about it, most people, when they go on a diet, got my air quotes up,
Mm-hmm.
they begin to stress about it. And when you're stressed, you're less likely to lose body fat. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, cortisol, it can hold a lot of belly fat. Yeah.
So I go with this crazy mind. I was like, diets are no, but if you don't necessarily hold yourself to that one diet, as you were saying, being able to find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I've added exercise to my diet.
Mm-hmm.
To my weight loss journey. I do have some supplements that I use, but I know that eating is the next piece that I have to get better at. And when you were talking about the regulating your eating behavior, so eating at the same time daily, it makes sense. I don't do it. I don't eat at the table anymore. So maybe, and I'm glad you brought these things up because honestly, I think as our lives get busier and busier, we throw a lot of those things out of the window.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I don't want to run out of time, but how do people get in touch with you? And tell me exactly what it is that you do with and for your clients so that we all know how we can stay connected with you. And for my ladies that are here on Clubhouse, definitely feel free to follow this club. So anytime we go live, and if you are not in our private Facebook group, come on over to CoachK101.com and join that Facebook group because over there we hold each other accountable for things such as this. So let us know, Laura, how we can get in touch with you should we need your help in this area.
Yeah. So you can email me. It's Pixie Training. That's PIXI, no E. So Pixie Training RVA as in Richmond pixietraining@gmail.com. I also have a website, pixietrainingrva.com. And I'm also on Instagram @pixietrainer. Those are the best ways to contact me. You can contact me through my my website as well. So yeah, I offer nutrition coaching, and that would be, we can do that through Zoom. We don't have to meet in person, but I do in-person personal training. I do group strength classes, and I also do oh, that's it actually. Yep.
So you do help with the nutrition aspect of it as well.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I can do nutrition separate or along with the training.
Awesome. Well, I thank you. And for all the ladies who are over here in the Facebook group, because a lot of you will probably catch the replay. So hashtag replay. I'll make sure that Laura's information is placed into that group for you. And if anyone wants to catch this replay via YouTube, then you should be a community member to do so. Otherwise, you should just come on over to the group. So, Laura, I really do appreciate you so much for being a part of this today. I know that this is something new for you, and I hope to see you do it a whole lot more, because the information that you shared is so valuable to us as women, which is the purpose of having this platform. The Midday Quickie is truly all about women, all things that we want to talk about, the things that we need to and may not want to. You're bringing some of those healthy aspects to the forefront, and we still need that right now, as a lot of us still are in between work, stressing about work, working from home, different environments. School's about to open up, the world might shut back down. So getting our health in order is going to be very vital to our futures, quite frankly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we really need to start prioritizing it, because we're just letting work get in the way of that. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to close our room down with some quick announcements, and then but I'm going to let you head on out. So thank you again, Laura, for being a part of this, and I'll send you this so you'll have access to it for later, and you enjoy your afternoon.
Excellent. You as well.
All righty.
All right. Bye.
All right, ladies, thank y'all so much. That was so awesome. I appreciate Laura so much. And again, I will make sure that this information for Laura is placed into our private Facebook group. But in my description, I did let you all know that we were going back on the 5-day challenges that I used to have way back in the day. I am still on my hashtag no new jeans. So I'm excited that we had this room, because 5-day challenges are just for that. We are going to go back to the 5 teas in the morning, 5 teas in the evening, and I'm throwing in a bonus packet of NutriBurst as well as a bonus packet of CMOS. So Total Life Changes is one of the subsets of items that I use when I do my Zumba. So I do have my virtual Zumba classes that I'm doing 7 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be adding an evening class to that, because everyone is not up at 7 a.m. getting their day on sweating. So be on the lookout for that evening class. But I'm going to drop the information for the 5-day challenges in the private Facebook group. So again, if you're not already in there, come on over to CoachK101.com and get into that private Facebook group. Today's room is brought to you by our sponsor of the Love Me More subscription box and book club, Beauties and Barbells, where she gave us some really amazing items. She added to our subscription box, supplements, vitamins, energy drinks, all kinds of goodies just for us as women. Last month, she gave us some really good stuff for our skincare. So if you missed it, you missed out. So if you want to learn more about becoming a part of that book club and subscription box, you can text the word books to 804-967-4551. Remember that the Midday Quickie is here every Monday and Friday just for you as women. We talk about all things women-centered. So this Friday, we are going to talk about a little heavier topic. We're going to talk about generational sexual trauma, because as women, we hold on to pockets of information that triggers come up later in life. And we're going to really talk about how we perpetuate that and keep that going, and then how we can heal it and stop it from being a generational thing. Tomorrow night, we're going to be right back here for the OPP Vibes. That OPP Vibes used to be called Sex and Relationship Chat, but with all these regulations, I do not want my rooms to keep getting, to be shut down. So OPP Vibes is opinions, perspectives for progress. I'll be here tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about when it's time to walk away. When do you work things out versus just giving it up? Because sometimes we do confuse sacrifice with just what we shouldn't be doing. So let's make sure that we you guys come around that 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you guys back here for another Midday Quickie on Friday. But of course, you can join me tomorrow night for the OPP Vibes. Click on my profile. Follow my club, Life, Love, and Intimacy. This club was only open to the public today because we had a special guest. So Friday's club will be closed down because we don't have a guest. So if you're not following the club, you won't be able to get in there because it is for members only, unless you're also part of that Facebook group. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day at work. And thank you for joining me for the Midday Quickie. Bye, everybody.